All right, Coach. Last week, standing at that podium, you basically said, this is on me. We have to be more consistent. You preached consistency. You said that's what you wanted to practice. Well, you got 2 wins over the weekend. Did the girls do exactly what you wanted and what y'all worked on?
Yes, most definitely. I was proud of them and the way that they came out to play this past weekend. We definitely need to execute better. Not real happy with the turnovers, but I do feel like they came out with more confidence and they were prepared. You know, preparation gets them confident, and that starts with the coaching staff. And if we can do the best we can on our end, then we produce more confident players. And on the other side of that, they gotta know and they have to believe that they're one of the best in the conference, and they have to show up that way every day. We always talk about lions in our program, and they're always looking to hunt, and they're hunting constantly, but they don't ever stop running because their food is not going to just come to them, and that's what we have to be out there. Wins aren't just going to come just because we were picked to win the conference or because we did this or that. We have the preseason player of the year. You know, we've got a target on our back, and they've got to be ready to pounce every game.
And Coach, especially on Saturday, it seemed like y'all played super aggressive through 3 quarters. You know, on that fourth, it seemed like St. Edward's came back a little bit, but you made the defensive stops that you needed down the stretch to secure both those wins. How much confidence does this give the ladies headed to New Mexico this weekend?
Yeah, you know, I think that's what the game is full of. You're going to face adversity. How we respond to that determines everything. And I felt like they came back and they responded well to that kind of stuff. The main thing is not letting one mistake lead to another. And that goes for multiple players. It's not always the same player making the same mistake or making the second mistake. It's just when we turn the ball over, we can't go down there and let them have an easy layup. And that happens as a team. And we talk about that every day. Actually, we're watching film right now going over that kind of stuff. But they pulled themselves together and they regrouped. We talk about poise, being able to not only play hard, but play smart. When we talk about playing hard constantly, we can't lose our head. We can play really hard and not execute, right? So I felt like they did a much better job of actually thinking while they're playing hard and making the right plays and not missing defensive assignments there at the end especially. But execution, making sure that we're making smart passes, that will help us because there won't be as many turnovers.
Going back to those 2 performances, you know, Tajon a career high 32 points against St. Edward's, you know, then we go to St. Mary's, the Big 4, consistently showing up. How key is it to have those players on your team just showing up, whether it's on the boards or on the points? Right.
I think it's really important, and I do think that we've had games this season where all 3 of those big players didn't show up, and we don't have a chance when that happens. Showing up doesn't mean making every shot they shoot. That means being there mentally and having the mentality going in that we're going to win that ball game. There's no excuse not to do that. They've got the tools, they've got the skills, and they have the minds to go in and act like they own the court. And that's what we always tell them, is you got to act like you own the floor, whether it's here or anywhere else. And when they don't do that, we have trouble, we struggle, and it is what it is at that point. Yeah, perfect team for me would have a big 8, 9, or 10 players, and that's what we're hungry for. That's what we're looking for, that we won't ever stop searching until we get that. And but you know, you could have the best players in the nation, and if they don't show up to that game, you could have the best week of practice, you can have the best shoot around that day, but until you see what they show up like for that game, we won't ever know. And that's what we have to be more consistent with.
Eastern and Western this week, you've already seen them dominated over them, and they're kind of 2 programs that are struggling in conference play. How do you take these 2 games and not let your girls take it lightly so y'all can go on the road and win both of them?
No, when you break those 2 teams down, we had a lot of mistakes against them. And that's what we want to preach this week is, yeah, we beat them, but it should have been better. we should have played better. And so that's what we're focused on this week. Eastern causes 22 turnovers. That's not okay. We have a goal of holding our turnovers under 10. And so that kind of tells you where we're at this point. Chemistry is everything. I do think rebounding the basketball this weekend is a major key, and I know I repeat myself on that, but when we don't rebound, we're not here mentally. That's an effort problem, and it's going to be hard to win games like that. They're athletic. Western executes really well. They have a great coach, and I know that they're going to play hard, and they play together well. And so very, very hard place to play. But both places are tough places to play, and we're just going to have to make sure that from top to bottom, bench, everything is ready to go on both of those games, and come in with a lot of energy. You know, when you're playing on the road, you have to be twice as good as you actually are in order to get those wins. Those are steals, but we expect them to come out with 2 wins this weekend.
And then last question from me, same one similar to Patel's. You know, y'all are hitting the back end of LSC play. Y'all want to play come March. How important it is to really get those wins this point in the season?
Yeah, I think it all goes back to just taking one day at a time and making sure that we win the day to day. And if we will continue to do that, and if we will keep the pedal on our players, I do think that they've got a good shot at doing some big things towards the end of the season. You know, you want to peak at the right time, and we always talk about that. And each day counts. Every pass counts, every shot counts, every possession counts, every 30 seconds on the defensive end counts. You can't take any of that off. And if we can stay consistent with that, I think the rest will take care of itself.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.